After 61 hours in Ghost of Yotei, I can finally say what Ghost of Tsushima couldn't make me feel in 2024, and yes, I didn't play it in 2020, but instead last year. I didn't love Tsushima, but also I didn't hate it either, but I couldn't finish the game. I mean all of the collectibles and stuff like that, because of the side content was so repetitive. Yotei changed that, but was it enough? The Ghost of Yotei is set 1603 in region surrounding Mount Yotei, which is located in the northern Japanese island Hokkaido known as Ezo. The events are taking place about 300 years after Ghost of Tsushima. But don't worry, Jin will be still in the game in some ways, but more about that a little bit later. In Yotei we are playing as Atsu, bless you, who seeks revenge against a group of outlaws called the Yotei Six. The main story takes approximately 25 to 30 hours to finish. A standard playthrough with some side activities completed is taking around 35 to 40 hours, and 100% completion it is expected to be around 60 to 65 hours, but of course these are just estimated hours of gameplay, and I think many of you will have so much more than 60, 80, 100 hours put into the main game. But if you're focusing purely on the main quest line, and when you are doing the side activities and you are not getting distracted, I would say 60, 65, 70 hours, it is actually pretty doable. Of course, depending how you play, with settings or difficulty level. Personally, I played most of the game with normal, and yes, I know this review is a little bit behind, but I didn't get early access. I paid $80 for this game, which is still pretty salty, because on the launch date I did see physical copies being sold at $59.95 and I paid $79.95 for the digital edition, which doesn't make sense at all. So, what were my expectations due to playing Ghost of Tsushima in 2024 and playing Ghost of Yotei in 2025, roughly a year apart? Well, of course, as I already mentioned, the Tsushima to me felt too repetitive, which actually made some aspects of the game really boring. Of course, I wasn't the biggest fan of the stances, the rock, paper, scissors system, which is still in the Yotei, but in my opinion, not as heavily. And don't get me wrong, I don't have anything against the stances per se, but especially in Yotei with different weapons, it kinda doesn't make any sense. That against one enemy, your weapons become useless. Well, not quite, but kind of. And earlier, when I said I didn't love or didn't hate Ghost of Tsushima, I mean, I played the main game, most of the side content, but left some collectibles, and thus I didn't get the platinum trophy for that one. For Yotei, I was able to do that because of the side content was hugely improved in my opinion. They are still pretty much the same, but with the improvements that Ghost of Tsushima did lack. For example, both games have box dens, shrines, bamboo strikes, that yellow bird thingy, which is actually pretty much the same for both games. In my opinion, it is pretty unnecessary and distracting, aka it is useless, almost. Also, we have those hot springs, and they are exactly the same as they were. Except we were steering Jin's ass much longer than Atsu's. So, Sucker Punch, why? Also in Ghost of Yotei we are having some new activities like wolf dens, which personally I did like, although they are still in the same category. That made me dislike some aspects of Tsushima, But come on, it is a wolf, and when you are doing those, you know you have to fight. Also, in Yotei, we are having Sumi East, and just in comparison, I actually did like these ones over the ones we are having in AG Shadows. So, the game starts from the burning tree with our soon-to-be targets.
Before she died, my mother told me stories of Onryo, ruthless spirits who wander the land, seeking vengeance. The night my family was massacred, I became such a spirit. Fleeing to the south, I was alone, hungry, and terrified. I found strength in the bruises on my skin, in the memory of a burning tree. But it was in war that I learned to kill. I bloodied my father's blade with nameless enemies, picturing the outlaws who murdered my family. After 16 years, I've come home to the wilds of Ezo. I will avenge my family, and I will join them in death. Every member of the Yotei 6 will suffer. Starting with the snake. Snake.
King.
The Oni. The Kitsune. Spider. The dragon. Lord Sight.
In the tutorial phase of the game, we are gonna take the snake out. After doing so, we will travel to our main area of the game, to our old home, that is now nothing but ruins. Here we will have some playable flashbacks. After those we are free to roam the beautiful world. Even though this game is not as linear as the predecessor was, this is still pretty linear in my opinion, since two of the targets can be taken out in any order. Like said, the snake is killed early on, and for the late game I'm not 100% sure, so correct me if I'm wrong in the comments down below, but the last three targets are linear, and your choices don't matter whatsoever in this game, at least not that much. But like I said, I might be completely wrong with this one. Or at least that was the impression that the game left me, that none of the choices doesn't matter outside of the dialogues. And in my opinion that is not a good thing. I will still prefer even or illusion that my choices matter even a little, rather than game just completely saying yes you can choose this but it doesn't matter whatsoever. Although the story was pretty solid one, it didn't seem as predictable as the story in Ghost of Tsushima, it was still pretty easy to see where it was going, excluding few twists here and there. Was it perfect? Not really. Was it bad? Hell no. Like said, it was a solid revenge and personal growth story of Atsu. It followed the similar style of the story as we already did see in the first game. Like last, this one also played it pretty safely. But more about those in form of spoilers and debunkings in the end of this video. And I tried to timestamp everything, including the spoilers, so if you don't want to get any of those, just check the timestamps where the spoilers begin. Or if you're here for the spoilers, you can skip around and go straight to those if you want. But if you want to see the whole thing, you are more than welcome to do so. As I was expecting, in the gameplay department, we did see improvements from the Tsushima. Yes, we still have bamboo cutting, but this time we can do some extra things. We did like cutting it while drunk and extra steps to slice it even further. Same with the foxes. They are still there, but this time it wasn't just mindless. Locate the fox, follow the fox, pray to the fox shrine. This time we had some extra goodies along the way, but fundamentally it was still the same with a small twist. But at least that was something, because in Ghost of Tsushima, when you did see one, you did see all of them, because all of them felt exactly the same.
Looks like you want
Also,
that charm.
in Yotei we were introduced a new minigame called Senji Hachiki, a coin flicking game, which was nice addition, I guess, but it definitely needs some improving, because I swear it can be an awful experience since the game doesn't have indicators how hard you are gonna flick it. Just quick tap can be too much or too little, so having that guidance thing on the top of the screen might be helpful, might be not, might be annoying, or this is just a skill issue and I have zero shame of admitting that I'm not the best with this one. And also no, I don't mean we need the game to hold our hands while playing this, like dotted lines, angles.
Good.
Some kind of powering indication how hard we are gonna flick would be nice, in my opinion, because the game's AI, it is actually pretty insane. One mistake from your part and boom, done, butchered by the AI, because the AI, it is programmed to be pretty unforgiving and pretty good at this game. So basically, if you fail even once, there is a chance the game will automatically win with one go. And that is getting me to the point that we cannot skip the animations. Saving in this game, well, saving and reloading does kinda suck in my opinion. It is super easy, super nice that we can get into the game like in 6 to 8 seconds. But saving or reloading from the save files, that is an awful experience all in all. You have to go to the menu, from the middle to the right side, then you have to, well, of course you can reload from the last known save, but if you want to go a little bit further, you have to quit to the title screen, from there reloading from the save files. That could be improved in the future Ghost games, in my opinion. So, hit that like button if you do agree that the saving and loading from the previous save files in this game could be improved. And I know this is minor issue, but it doesn't mean it is not annoying one. From the repeats and annoying things, there's also new things to do, like wolf dens, that will grant you skill points to a summon tree, meaning the wolf has a chance to appear in the fight, in the duel, or even in the later game you can summon it when playing the Song of the Wolf. That also can reveal wolf den locations in the map. Even though they are almost the same every single time, I still like them because, yeah, wolf, wolfy, and also they ended up in combat, and Atsu trying to create a bond with the wolf. That was actually pretty nice to see. What comes to the world, unfortunately some areas are locked behind the main story, so you cannot soak in all at once or complete all of the side activities before you have wiped the blood of Yotei 6 members on your sash. Perhaps I was expecting a little more from this game, but I didn't feel bored or found it as repetitive as Tsushima in terms of side content. But I didn't get connected to the character as strongly as I did with Jin. Not sure why. Maybe it was because we had to stare Jin's spear behind longer than Atsu's when doing the hot springs. I don't know, jokey. Ha! Not sure if you did notice or not, but we didn't have like million headbands in Yotei in terms of the vanity gear. At least I felt like that not every single thing was more likely to be a headband like in Tsushima. This time we had helmets, headbands, masks, hats, and that fact is getting the thumbs up from me. Speaking about that, can this video get a thumbs up from you guys, since you are way too awesome not to do so? Many thanks. In my conclusion, while gameplay was improved, the story wasn't as strong as it was in the first game. So, hopefully Sucker Punch will combine the best out of these into the third Ghost installment for the series, and topping that off, adding something unique there as well. But this game left me with a good overall feeling, but just like the first one, the second also wasn't 10 out of 10 for me. To me, Ghost of Tsushima, it was good but highly overrated, and I would say it is about 8 out of 10, which is leading us to the Ghost of Yotei. Even though the story wasn't as strong, everything else was improved in my opinion. So 8.5 out of 10 to Yotei. Of course, this might mean jack shit to you guys, so definitely, if you are still considering of getting this game or not, watch some actual reviews of the game, some critiques, positives, negatives, whatever, but I actually wouldn't recommend listening to anybody who hasn't played the game at all. But I really feel Ghost of Yotei did lack improvements in the stealth, parkour, and somehow in combat department. Of course the combat was fine-tuned a little bit more with new tools, with new weapons, but it was, in principle, it was still the same as it was in the first game. Of course you can do parkour, but it is very clunky in my opinion, and the stealth in this game as well, it is quite shite, to be honest. But yes, both of those are doable in this game, but they are on a very basic level. And hopefully those are something that are gonna be fine-tuned and focused on more in the future Ghost games. Plus the other reasons I said previously in this video. So, let's move on to the spoilers. We have Jin Sakai, or his house, armor in this game. Well, the mask and the stag helmet, and also the Stormblade. And the area of that is very beautiful, captivating, and I highly recommend of playing that part with time, exploring everything. As you already might know, there are channels out there that are saying, of course, only target you are leaving alive is a woman and not a man. Actually, there's couple things wrong here. We also leave another member of Yotei 6 alive, and he is a man. With the Kitsune, I got the impression that the Atsu was hesitant, but didn't hesitate as much with the spider. Also, the game will let you know that it is not happy about Atsu sparing Kitsune, and that part was left out constantly by the people who are bashing the game for political reasons. And what those channels were saying as well, in the end of the game, you may have heard that Atsu raises a child with her, quote, girlfriend, unquote, and the lesbian pair lives happily ever after type of narrative, like excuse me. What the fuck? Nowhere in the game it is clear that Atsu is a lesbian, at least nothing is completely straightforward, and seeing that these insane conclusions were made, well, let's take a look.
Go on. You both can play a song for Jubei. I'll join you soon. Kiku's becoming quite the musician. He'd be so proud. My hunt is over.
See, how that was romantic at all. To me, it seemed like a friend that is stopping by, nothing more, nothing less. After this scene, you can find the girl, Kiku, but not Kitsune, anywhere in the home base. And also I have been trying to find her on the map, and I couldn't find her. So if you have found her after the game, let me know where you can find her. So, could somebody please explain me if I did miss something really royally, or what? Is that really like Rainbow Family Racing Kid? Because to me it didn't feel that way at all. While you are leaving your thoughts and opinions, whether you are for or against the game, and while doing so, remember to smash the subscribe button, since we are almost at 10,000 subscribers, and it would be a dream to achieve that someday. Thank you so much for watching, keep the conversation alive, and see you in the comments. Skatha, over and out. Bye bye.
Not the old